What's up guys, and welcome back to Software Knowledge Solutions, and today we're talking about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Season 1, and yes ladies and gentlemen, it is out right now, and as always, when Call of Duty releases a update, like number 1, Season 1, being played right now, in general they intend to fuck up their game. This is a common known factor in the Call of Duty community right now. Every time they release an update, they intend to break something in the game. Now, I'm here to fix that. I'm here to help you out as best I can for every single user out there. It doesn't matter who you are and what you're running. Follow my guidelines and you should be good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump straight into this video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so the first step I highly recommend you go ahead and do is this over here. And please go ahead and do this if you haven't done this already. Please open up your file explorer like this and then go to Documents, go to Call of Duty, go to Players, and then go to Options 4.cod23. Open this up with any notepad or any editing software and then open this up like this. Now, you will see this thing called render a work account, and this has to do with your CPU, okay? It does not matter if you're running a Ryzen or an Intel CPU. Something I want to mention is this over here. Can you see it goes from 1 to 16? The total amount you can put inside here is 16, okay? Now, I highly recommend you go ahead and put your total cores inside here. I have an 8-core, 8-thread CPU, so my total cores are 8. Now, a lot of people has questioned me and they were like, yo, dude, if I half my cores back in the day, it used to run much better and stuff like that. Yes, I know that. But with all the new updates that came out now at this very moment, halving your cores does not help. Okay, it doesn't help. It might help for Ryzen CPUs. So hear me out. If you are a Ryzen user, okay, and you maybe got 12 cores, right? 12 total cores, and you put 6 here, you might get better performance out of your Ryzen CPU. But if you're an Intel user like me, it's your total cores. So mine would be 8. I have 8 cores, 8 threads. And no, I'm not putting my threads here. I'm putting my total cores here. Now, if you got a 24 core machine, okay, then you're going to put 16 inside here because the highest value is 16. You cannot put 24 inside here. It will not help. It will just revert to its defaults, which is some random ass number. And anyways, if you come inside here and you might have a random ass number inside here, please go ahead and change it to your total cores of your CPU that you're currently running. Please go ahead and do that if you are an Intel user. When it comes to Ryzen, it can either be your total cores or half your cores. Test them out. So put your total here, go play the game, and then check your performance, check your FPS, then come back in here and half your cores. Then once you're done changing it to half, you just come here, up at the top, and then say save, and then close out of this, and you should be good to go. Find out if half the cores are better for Ryzen or the total cores. It's a quite of a fucked up mess right now, to be honest with you, and I'm just going to be plain and simple. I don't sugarcoat bullshit, and I never will. Just try it out with Ryzen, okay? Halving your cores or putting your total cores inside here. But yet again, ladies and gentlemen, you can only go to 16. Do not go over it. Okay, so if you've got 24 cores, put 16 inside there. Anything higher than 16 cores, put 16 in there. If you've got 16 cores in general, put 16 in there. Cool, awesome. Something I want to mention is this over here, where it says version of the last display driver used to run the game. This was the last version of my driver for my GPU to run the game, okay? I was running it on the old driver. Please make sure that you go ahead and install the latest graphics card drivers for your machine. It doesn't matter if you're an AMD user or an Nvidia user. As you can see, it says 546.29. This is the last driver version I was running while playing the game. Now there's a new one out right now at this very moment, which is 546.29 for Nvidia users. Now for AMD users, just go ahead and update your graphics card driver to the latest one. Please go ahead and do so, and it runs perfectly fine. You need to go ahead and have this at the actual driver that you are updated to the latest driver. Please go ahead and do that. Please, I highly recommend you go ahead and do this. Now, if you want to, you can copy my settings inside here, but obviously I'm not going to upload this config file. A lot of people ask me, yo, dude, can't you just upload this config file and then we can tweak some things? I was like, no, I'm not going to do that because there's a lot of things that you're going to need to tweak yourself, and it's not going to make sense because, number one, you don't run a graphics card like mine, you don't run a CPU like mine, you don't run a TV like me, you don't run components like mine, okay? So there's no point in it. So if you want to, I'm just going to do this and just go over the things that I've changed myself. And if yours is different, go ahead and change it to mine. And just change everything to the things that I've changed it to, and you should be good to go. I can promise you this right now. But the most important steps are those two things that I just showed you in the beginning of the config file. Changing your total cores, and then also the display driver. Please make sure that you're on the latest graphics card drivers. Please make sure that you're on it. If you are not, and you're not satisfied, I know a lot of people are rolling back drivers and stuff like that to the previous version and they get more FPS. If you are one of those people, then you're going to have to play around with the drivers itself if you are one of those people, one of those unlucky people. But if you're one of the lucky people or most lucky people out there, you run the latest graphics card driver for Nvidia, which is 546.29, and then obviously for AMD, run the latest graphics card drivers. Alright, let's jump straight into the next step. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to point out this over here. Thanks to every single person that has joined my membership. It really means a lot to me that you guys have actually joined and supporting my YouTube channel. It really means a lot to me. Shout out to every single one of you guys that's in my membership right now. It means a lot to me. It really, really does. You guys are amazing. Love you guys to bits, and you guys are fucking absolutely amazing. All right, let's get on with the video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so the next step I highly recommend you go ahead and do is, and it plays a very, very big role on your machine itself and how your games perform in general. Not just Call of Duty, all your games in general, how they perform. I highly recommend you go ahead and do this. You go to the start button over here, and then go to settings, or you can just go to the search button over here and type in settings, and it will take you straight to this over here. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a Windows 10 user or Windows 11 user, come inside here in your Windows settings, and then come to gaming over here, and then come to game bar. Make sure you turn this off. If you are one of the people that use this, then obviously don't turn this off. It's your own personal preference, all right? Captures is obviously going to be your own personal preference if you are using the game bar and stuff like that. It's going to be your own personal preference. But if you don't use this, just copy my settings over here. If you don't use it, copy my settings, and then come to game mode. Make sure your game mode is turned on. It actually does help for Call of Duty, and it helps for other games as well. It plays a very big role on your machine. Please have it on, and then come to graphic settings like this. You're going to turn hardware accelerated GPU scheduling on now for Season 1. Yes, I know. My previous video, I actually said to turn it off, but with Season 1, I highly recommend you turn it on. It gives you an advantage. It gives you less input latency, and it makes the game run a little bit smoother having it on. So please go ahead and turn it on. Now you'll see it will do something like this. It will say, restart your PC to apply the changes. Once you turn this from off to on, okay? If yours is on already, just leave it on, okay? If yours is off and you turn it on, it asks you to restart. Just restart. Once I'm done with this video, you can restart the entire PC once you've applied everything that I'm about to show you. And then you can just restart your computer and jump into the game, and you should be good to go. And if this video helped you, smash that motherfucking like button. Hip thrust that motherfucking like button, because you guys are fucking amazing. Alright, from here, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to click on the home button, and you're going to click on privacy, and scroll all the way down to where you see it says background apps. And if you're a Windows 11 user, now this is going to be a little bit different for you if you're a Windows 11 user, but if you are a Windows 10 user like me, all you're going to need to do is turn this from on to off. And then scroll down, then all of these things won't run in the background using resources like your RAM, your CPU, and your VRAM usage. You don't want it to use those things in the background and run in the background while you are playing Call of Duty. You don't want it to be happening at the back of your machine without you even knowing it. Now, if you're a Windows 11 user, it's a little bit difficult. Not really difficult, but it's more complex because you have to disable these things individually. I'm not going to show you how to do that. You are the one with Windows 11, not me. I don't like Windows 11, and I'll keep pointing that out. Windows 11 is unoptimized, and now you're playing unoptimized games. Those are two things that you shouldn't put together, and it makes a shit combo. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a Windows 10 user like me, just go ahead and turn this from on to off, and you should be good to go. Don't let these things run in the background. You should be good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, don't worry. If you are Windows 11 users, just Google how to disable background apps, and it will literally show you how to do that. Just go ahead and do that. I don't want to make this video any longer than what it already is. Just go ahead and do that. From here, you're going to click on the home button, and then you're going to come to apps over here like this. Now, I just want to point something out. Is this over here? Okay, my machine's taking a little bit long because I have a lot of shit installed on my machine. Anyways, come inside here, and then just look at stuff that you maybe have installed on here that you don't play, for instance. Single player games, or just obviously please don't uninstall these fucking things. If you're not clued up with machines, do not touch this. Please do not touch these things. They play a very big role with your machine. Anyways, single player games and stuff that you don't use, just go ahead and uninstall them. you want your hard drives or SSDs or M.2s, whatever you are running, please go ahead and make sure that your hard drives, SSDs or M.2s are in the blue and not in the red. If they are in the red, it makes your machine run slower. You don't want to do that, especially if your game's on that drive as well. Please go ahead and uninstall bullshit off your machine. Please go ahead and do so. From here, you're going to click on Startup, and then here, you're going to go ahead and disable the things that you do not need to run once you boot your machine. Okay? Please go ahead and turn them off. Like Steam and stuff that you don't need, turn them off. Like this, for instance. I don't even have Cougar headphones anymore. I used to own them quite a while back, and I still have it installed on my machine. So yes, I'm also a dumbass for not uninstalling this over here since I don't have this anymore. I have a SteelSeries mouse and a SteelSeries headset. This is what I use. That's why this is on. Okay? But Steam and stuff like that does not need to be on. The reason why I'm saying this is because when you boot your machine, Steam's going to open, Discord's going to open, everything's going to open in the background, run in the background, use your RAM and resources of your machine, and make your machine run slower. Please go ahead and turn these things off that you don't fucking need. Alright, let's jump straight into the next step. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very important step to do, and I highly recommend you go ahead and do this. I don't care if you've done it before or if you've never done this before. Please go ahead and do this right now. You're going to go to your search button over here and then type in CMD and then go to the command prompt and then right click on it and say run as administrator. Say yes to the command prompt. It will go completely black and then it will look like this. You're going to type in SFC spacebar / scan now, one word, and press enter. Once you press enter, it will scan through your entire machine and find it to see if there is corrupt files on your machine. If you have corrupt files, Windows will automatically fix it for you. If you don't have corrupt files, it will automatically just scan through everything and tell you that everything's perfectly fine and everything's good in order. Now, if it says it's found corrupt files on your machine, it will automatically fix it for you. This is a brilliant feature to use. Please go ahead and do this. I don't know, maybe like once a month or just in general, just go ahead and do this. If you've done it before, please do it again. Please, just do this. You need to know that your machine is running in order. Alright, let's jump straight into the next step. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so something that's very, very important if you are an Nvidia user like me, you're going to right click on your desktop and go to Nvidia control panel, or just go to the search button and type in Nvidia control panel and open it up. You're going to open up Nvidia control panel. Once the Nvidia control panel is opened and looks like this, you're going to come to adjust image settings with preview and use the advanced 3D image settings. Make sure you have this ticked and then click on take me there, which is basically going to take you to manage 3D settings. Now, a lot of people has asked me in general, why do I use global settings? Why don't I go to program settings and select Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3? The reason why I use global settings is for all my games. This helps all my games run better, not just Call of Duty. I play a lot of games, not just Call of Duty. Yes, I make Call of Duty videos like a lot, like a fuck ton, and literally it's like all my research and everything I do is just Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Call of Duty. You know, because I'm trying to help the Call of Duty community, which the developers are not giving a fuck about, because the developers don't give a fuck about you, me, or anyone. They don't care. They just want to release new seasons where you're going to pay money to buy the season and all that bullshit. It's a money-making scheme. I'm here to help you as best I can. And if I did, make sure to smash that motherfucking like button. There is a super thanks down below, or a thanks button in my video. Click on it, click on the thanks button, and leave a donation. It will mean a lot to me if this actually helped you. If this made your games run better, if it made Call of Duty run better, if it made any other game run better, leave it in the comment section down below. Leave some feedback. It will mean a lot to me. It honestly does. Leave a comment saying, yo dude, this game is running better now. Or this game is running better now. Call of Duty is running better now. Leave some feedback. I would love to get the feedback from you guys. Alright, anyways, so global is what I do. You're just going to copy my settings as is over here. So off, application controlled, off, on, application controlled, off. The here where it says CUDA GPUs, right? This is your GPU currently running. So when you click on it, like this, it will say your GPU. Make sure this is ticked and say OK, right? This over here where it says, it's a new feature actually, not that new, but it was recently released. It's called System Fallback Policy. Please select Prefer System Fallback on this one over here. Click on this and then Prefer System Fallback. Not driver default, not prefer no system feedback. You're going to say Prefer System Feedback. Alright, keep on that. You're going to go to DSR factors, off, low latency mode. This plays a very big role on a lot of machines. Okay, now I just want to explain this. If you have ultra option and on, okay? If you have ultra option and on, click on on. If you only have the ultra option, click on ultra. Just do not have this off. Please, for the love of fuck, do not have this off. If you have this off, your games are going to start running like dog shit, and you don't want that. Low latency mode helps a fuck ton when it comes to gaming. Please, turn it on, or if you only have ultra, put it on ultra. Alright, from here, max frame rate, you're not going to change this. Turn it off. You can do that in your games, not inside here. Alright, this off, this on auto right now, but something I just want to mention is this over here. You can click here and go prefer performance. I would do this myself as well, and I'm actually going to do that right now. Prefer performance over here is just in general, it will use performance and not auto select stuff. Okay, so just prefer performance over here. Just go ahead and do that, and then go OpenGL rendering GPU. Obviously your GPU, select it. And then this one over here, power management mode, prefer maximum performance, shader cache, 100 gigs. It still helps with latency issues and stuttering issues. So please go ahead and leave that at 100 gigs. Please go ahead and do that. On, allow, high performance, on. And then this over here, where it says threaded optimization, on. Triple buffering, off. Then the rest of these are 3D things. You do not need to touch them. Leave them the fuck alone, right? Once you're done with all of this and you apply these settings, you go like this and you apply them. Your screen might flash a couple of times. Don't worry about it. It's just applying these settings to your machine right now. And trust me, this will help you and benefit you a lot, not just in Call of Duty, but with the other games as well. From here, you're going to go to config, surround, and physics and come inside here. Your physics are handled through your graphics card, so do not have this at auto select. I see a lot of people still running auto select for some reason. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Please don't do this. Please, just don't do this. Go to your GPU and select your GPU over here. Select it and make sure that your GPU is selected, and then say apply over here. From here, you're going to come to adjust desktop color settings and come inside here. Now, as you can see, I have multiple screens, and this is my main monitor over here, or my main screen, my main display. If you have multiple screens, cool for you. Awesome. Anyways, it's multiple screens, like so many people out there have multiple screens, and so many people just play on one monitor. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Okay? You're going to come over here, brightness 50%, contrast 65%, gamma 1.00, which is defaults. Digital vibrance. Make sure you click on image 3 and then pull this all the way down to 0. You'll see your screen go black and white. Now, this is how your machine is pre-installed, right? It will look like this, 50%. This is how your machine will look. Now, for you to get more color out of your game, and you don't want to use Nvidia filters and stuff like that, that actually decreases FPS when it comes to Call of Duty, you can come inside here and not use Nvidia filters and make your game pop, make it look much better. In fact, it makes every single game look much better. Not just Call of Duty. I tested this on multiple games, right? This is your digital vibrance of your screen. So whatever you do on your screen, and if you watch YouTube videos or gaming or whatever it is that you do on your screen itself, on your PC, put this up to like 65%, 75%, or 85%, like that over here. My sweet spot is 95, all right? I have 6.6 vision, so this is why I have mine at 95. I don't have bad eyesight. If you do have bad eyesight, a point outer for you guys is this. Please do not put this at 95 if you have bad eyesight or you're wearing glasses, like a prescription glasses. Please put this then down to like 75. That should be good to go. This should actually be a sweet spot for you if you're wearing glasses, depending on what script you have in your glasses or whatever the case might be. I'm not going to go in depth with it, but please don't fuck up your eyes by changing this all the way to 95 if you don't have really good vision. Please, please just listen to me on this. My fiance actually is an optic dispenser, so please just don't. Like, this could really fuck up your eyes in general. It can really, in the long run, fuck up your eyes. Look, I'm not an educational channel. I'm not here to educate you, but you should know this. Anything that's too bright or whatever the case might be, or too much color, and you are blind as fuck, please don't put this at 95. Don't do that. You're going to hurt your eyes. You're going to wake up with headaches or go to sleep with headaches and stuff like that. Please don't fuck up your eyes. 95 if you have 6.6 vision and you're good to go, right? Mine's 95, like I said, right? From here, you're going to click on apply. And once this is all applied, ladies and gentlemen, you should be good to go with the Windows settings. All right, let's jump straight into the game. Let me show you the best settings for Season 1 for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are in the game right now, and yes, that is the first two problems that I was running through. I actually ran through three problems that I had to restart my game 3 times in a row, and yes, I am playing it on Battle.net. If you're a Steam user, you might have the same problems, or if you're a Battle.net user, you might have the same problems. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Season 1. As you can see right now, we're in the selection screen as is. First thing I highly recommend you go ahead and do is you're just going to click on this little gear icon over here, and you're going to go to graphics. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is something very, very important that I just want to point out is this over here. If you are a person that has multiple screens, then I highly recommend you run full screen borderless. For most case scenarios, in general, full screen borderless runs perfectly fine. Now, a lot of people do mention this, and I've read this up on Reddit, and I read this up on posts in general, where people are saying that running full screen exclusive gives you less input latency and less lag and stuff like that. Now, if you are experiencing that on this option over here, this selection, and you go over to this and you see less input latency and less lag and stuff like that, then obviously it's common sense for you to move over to this. Okay? Now, this is actually meant for one monitor, but a lot of people are getting away with putting this at full screen exclusive if they have multiple monitors as well. If you have one singular display, like a laptop display, or one monitor, or one display in general for your computer, I would recommend going with full screen exclusive. I'm running full screen borderless at this very moment, and it runs perfectly fine with Season 1. And just in general, I recommend these two at this very moment. Now, if you're a low-end user and you're struggling, because I have a lot of people that I know that are running low-end machines, they run this game in either windowed mode or full screen extended windowed mode. That's how a lot of people are playing this game right now at this very moment, to get more frames out of their game. Now, you know what machine you are running, so if you know you're running a budget machine or a very low-end machine, then try these out. Try windowed mode or try this one out, okay? Either one of these two, or you can try this as well, okay? Try this out. It might give you a significantly increase in FPS. You don't know. You need to try these things, okay? It's depending on your specific rig. Now, I'm going to go over every single setting in this game because the settings has changed, okay? Once I came into this game, a lot of things have changed to things I don't want it to be on, like stuff's on that I don't want to be on in the first place. And there we go. Like, my game has just literally downloaded something while I'm recording. This is what I mean about this game being absolute dog shit. Anyways, let's go to this again. Right, so something that's very, very important is display gamma. I'm just going to explain this. A lot of people don't understand this option. If you put this at 2.2, it is for a display unit like a laptop or a monitor or gaming monitor, okay? 2.4 is for TVs. I run my game on a TV and then two monitors on my right and left hand side. One is for my Discord and one is for my YouTube monetization and stuff like that. And then my main screen is a TV. This is why I have this at 2.4. So please don't copy the setting. I've seen a lot of people actually, copying my settings as is. Don't do that. Please listen to me. That's all you need to do is just listen, and you should be good to go with everything in this game. And I can promise you your game will run perfectly fine for Season 1. Since it's a complete fuck up right now, all you need to do is follow my guidelines and you should be good to go. Alright? Okay, brightness is something that I highly recommend you go ahead and change from its default 50 to 60 or your own personal preference. Just push it higher than 50, which is default. Push it higher. Alright? Constant mouse to game window is something that you can go ahead and put on and say apply. Then your mouse can't get off of your main screen if you own multiple monitors. Now, if you own multiple monitors and you want to go to your other screens, you can literally just turn this off and then say apply, and you can get off of the screen. Now I'm on my left-hand side screen, and if I do this, I go to my right-hand side screen. But if you turn this on and you apply it, you can't get off the screen at all. You can physically not get off. Okay, it's to focus your mouse on this specific screen, your main screen. Okay, now I turn this off because I do go over to my other screens as well. Nvidia Reflex Low Latency Mode, I highly recommend that you go ahead and put this on plus boost for season 1. Please go ahead and do this. You can test out on, but I do recommend in general you put this on plus boost. In worst case scenarios, running it on might give you less performance. This is why I say on plus boost. Just for the love of a fuck, don't turn this off. Okay, if you turn this off, you're gonna have a shit gameplay experience, and I don't recommend it. Okay, I really don't. Just go with on plus boost over here. Eco mode automatically went to this, and I went to go change it to custom. Right now, at this very moment, if you are seeing this happening where your frames are capped to the refresh rate of your screen, please come to custom so it can change that. Then these two need to be off because these two were turned on when I came into the game, and then this was not unlimited, it was limited for custom, and it looked like this. But I still did my frames because I changed that to 300. So I have mine unlimited, and I leave it on unlimited. It cannot hurt your machine. Now, I know a lot of people out there is going to be like, yo, dude, but I put mine on custom, and I put this at like my refresh rate of my monitor, and that's your own personal preference. If you want to do that, and if you like, you don't need to leave a comment saying what the fuck you're doing with these settings. Like, honestly, I'm just giving you advice. Don't comment saying like, this must be, and then you start making YouTube videos and show people how to fucking fix this game, please. Please go ahead and do that. Anyways, custom, I have mine unlimited, and this is how I play my game. Something I want to mention is this over here. Focus mode is for people with multiple monitors. The reason why focus mode was added into the game is so that you can just focus on the main screen. So if you don't stream or you don't watch your other screens, both my screens go completely black on the left and right hand side, and I can only focus on the screen that I'm looking at right now, which is right in front of me, okay? Now, if you turn this all the way down to 0 and you apply it, you'll see your screens come back on, okay? That's just a thing for Call of Duty. It's a neat feature, but if you're a streamer or you have multiple screens or you do things with multiple screens, leave this at 0. Otherwise, you are not going to be able to see on your other screens. And a lot of people don't know how to fix it, or it might become a problem. Don't worry, it's not a problem. You can literally just go to 100%, turn your screens off, 0%, turn your screens on. That's how this works. All right, let's jump straight into the quality tab. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so as you can see, we are in the quality tab right now. And as you can see at this very moment, there is a new option. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there is a brand new option inside Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 with Season 1. Path tracing plus ray reconstruction. This is something that's very, very new to Call of Duty right now for Season 1. Now, take advantage of this, okay? If you turn this on and you put it on, let's say, balanced, okay? Watch my frames. I was just doing about 130 FPS. Now it's all over the place because I'm changing settings. So I'm just going to apply this. Watch my FPS. Now I'm doing 37 FPS and it's not moving. It's just stuck there, okay? Now, you can take advantage of this option here. Take advantage of it, right? So if you feel performance will run better for you, test these out. All of these you're going to need to test out with your specific rig. Which one runs best for you, and then also to make your game look really, really good. Now, you can obviously go with quality to make your game look really, really good, or DLAA. Balance, I would recommend balance to get the best performance out of your game, to get the best FPS out of your game, or go performance. Ultra performance does not look that great. I've tested it out. It doesn't look great at all. But if you're in need of FPS and your game's struggling like really bad, then go with ultra performance or performance. Go with those. It should be perfectly fine. I do recommend balance. Right now at this very moment, I recommend balance for people out there that just wants this to run perfectly fine. So take advantage of this by turning it on, and then going here, and then going here, and then selecting one of these for any upscaling inside here. Any of them. Just don't turn it off. For any upscaling inside here, go with this, and then obviously choose something inside here. It's very important, ladies and gentlemen. Please go ahead and enable this. It does help for people out there that is struggling with FPS. Also, in general, it helps with people that has high-end machines that's not achieving the FPS that they should be achieving. Take advantage of this, ladies and gentlemen. please go ahead and do so. It's a new feature. It's something new that we can all take advantage of. So take advantage of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a subscriber of mine and you're a loyal subscriber of mine or you're a member or whatever, you know that I run the Intel upscaling and I've been running it for a very long time. This is what I run. I run the Intel upscaling ultra quality, and then obviously with this thing right now, with the new option, I have this off and then this at 90% of my VRAM scale. Now, this is how I run my game to run it perfectly fine. Okay. Now, a lot of people don't understand that you need to have a specific rig to run this setting like this, okay? To run it like this, you need to have a specific machine. With my machine, it runs it perfectly fine. I have a 9700K, a RTX 2060 OC, and 16 gigs of RAM. Every single component has been overclocked. My CPU with a water cooling block, my GPU, and my RAM timings has been shortened for my machine to run even better than what it already does. So this is what I'm running. Now, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people don't like this option, but I just want to point out something is this over here. The Intel upscaling does make the game look like a AAA title game, and it makes the game look fantastic. Now, there's a few more that you can choose to make the game look really good if you've got a good enough machine to run this game's quality at a decent rate. So, running it at this option is beautiful. Running it at Nvidia image scaling is another one, but then you need to have this at ultra quality, and at 5, we're going to go over to DLSS. A lot of people do prefer Nvidia DLSS, and it is going to depend on your machine how you're going to run this, okay? Depending on your sharpness, some people like 80 like this. You can literally just type it in, and people prefer like balance or performance. It does depend on your machine, does depend on your GPU, obviously, does depend on your machine of what you're running. Are you running Ryzen? Are you running Intel? It does depend on what you are running, okay? You need to have an Nvidia graphics card, obviously, to run Nvidia DLSS in any ways. So you will have an Nvidia card when you have this option. But a lot of people will go with either balance or quality to get more quality out of the game, because Nvidia DLSS intends to blur your screen on the right and left hand side once you move. Now, obviously, you're not going to stand dead fucking still in the game. You're not just going to stand there and look at the scenery. You're going to be running around. So people prefer the balance option or the performance option when it comes to Nvidia DLSS. If you're running Nvidia DLSS, I do recommend balance or performance. Just don't go to ultra performance. The game's going to look like absolute dog shit and you're going to want to throw up yourself. And please just don't do that. Anyways, from here, you're going to do this, okay? So you go to Nvidia DLSS. It's also a really good option. Like I said, this one I always skip over because it just makes me want to fucking puke of how bad it looks and how low of FPS you get with this option. So I always skip it, okay? Now, let's get to this over here. People with machines that's decent still run Fidelity FX Cache. They run this at this. I have mine at 60% when I run Fidelity FX Cache. This is your own personal preference on the strength over here. And then they run this at 90%, or they put this at 80% like this, and they leave it like this, okay? And then they have this one on, all right? Now, something I want to point out is this. AMD FSR 1.0. If you are an Nvidia user or an AMD user, it doesn't matter what graphics card you are running, you can use this option to benefit out of FPS and make your game run really well and make your game look really, really good, as long as you have this at either quality or ultra quality. If your machine can handle ultra quality, select the ultra quality option, go here, you're going to come here and put this at either 75 like this, or if your machine can't handle it, put it at 65. Now, I literally had a comment saying, if you lower the VRAM scale, your game crashes more. Now, I tested this multiple times to see if this is actually a true factor. It doesn't happen to me. Maybe it was happening to just that one guy, because I didn't get multiple comments of people saying, my game crashes every time I put the VRAM lower. I've never seen, because you put your VRAM lower, that your game crashes. I am not aware of that. But if that is a thing, and you see your game crashes once you put this to like 50 or I don't know 60 or let's say 65 and your game crashes, then there's something obviously seriously wrong with Call of Duty's developers. Then like I said, they are smoking very, 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 very super strong crack. Anyways, I would recommend, like I said, either 65 or 75 over here and press enter. If you're running AMD FSR 1.0 at ultra quality, have this at 75 or 65 and then have this off over here when it comes to AMD FSR 1.0, right? But if you want more performance out of your game, go to quality, not ultra quality. Your game will still look really, really good, okay? From here, I want to mention this. AMD FSR 2.1. A lot of people do prefer this one instead. It does depend on your machine which one you are going to be selecting. Obviously, that is just how this works, okay? Everyone runs a different system. Some people have Ryzen, some people have Intel, some people have AMD setups, some people have Nvidia and Intel, some people have Nvidia and Ryzen. It's all complicated. It's all messed up. It's like a mixed bag. I don't want to tell you what kind of mixed bag that is, but let's get off that topic. Anyways, so you are running this. I would recommend quality or ultra quality yet again. Do not go with balance when it comes to AMD FSR 2.1. Your game's going to look like dog shit, and you don't want your game to look like that. You don't want to tear out your own fucking eyes once you're playing the game. Obviously not. So please go ahead and put this at quality. If your machine can handle this, go to ultra quality and leave this at ultra quality with AMD FSR 2.1, and then this at 75 or 65, or you can push it up to 85. I wouldn't go over that limit, because you are trying to get the best performance out of your game itself by choosing a different type of upscaling. Right. Now, something I want to point out is this. Do not put this off. Okay. This is something I just want to mention. I've actually seen people get away with this by turning the upscaling completely off, and they get away with it, and their frames are stable, and their game runs perfectly fine. Now, this is why I want to mention this. If you turn this off and your game runs perfectly fine, and Call of Duty does an update in the next 2 or 3 days, you will start seeing significantly less FPS in the game. Why? Because Call of Duty does this thing every time they do an update, they fuck their game up. Okay? That is just something that Call of Duty is very good at, is fucking their game up. Every time they do an update, they fuck their game up. All right? Like I said, it's a money-making scheme. Season 1 is here. Everyone's going to be pre-purchasing shit and buying shit and this and that, left and right and center. Just, here's my credit card, here's my credit card, here's my credit card, here's my credit card. People are doing that, obviously, because Call of Duty is a money-making scheme. They are literally, we are feeding them cash. That is what we're doing. But we're not getting any results back, like, for instance, fixing their fucking game, number one. They don't do that. They don't care about the community like some people do, like me. I care about the community. That's why I make these videos, is to care, is to help people that is struggling. Anyways, so number one, upscaling is very important depending on your specific rig. Now, I did go over these things. Like I said, I did go over them. This one, bleh, just no, okay? Just no, all right? Anyways, I'm going to go to my upscalings that I run over here, and then obviously I have mine at 90%, which is the highest I can go to. This is what I run at this current moment. Now, let's go over the rest of the settings that you're going to need to change right now at this very moment for your game to run much, much smoother and better. Number one, apply these settings to say confirm, to apply what you just applied over here inside the global quality settings. Now we're going to go over the details and textures. Let's go over that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so the details and textures is something that plays a very, very big role on the game itself. Obviously, it does. So this is how your game looks, how it performs, and there's a lot of things in here you don't need. And then, obviously, the main attraction, the main option in here is this one over here, right? So if you're running this, or you're running this, right? Or you're running that, to be honest with you, whatever you are running, and you can get away with normal, run your game like that. The game feels good, runs good, looks good. But if you're struggling with FPS and you're using, let's say, AMD FSR 1.0 at quality or ultra quality, then change this from normal to low. As you can see, it's less VRAM and your game still looks exactly like one another. There's no visual difference that much between normal and low, but if you can take advantage of normal, go ahead and take advantage of it. If your machine can handle it, then use the normal option. If you see your machine can't handle the normal option, use the low option. Your game will still look perfectly fine. Trust me on this. Right. Texture filter anisotropic, low. Depth of field, I don't know who uses this. I honestly don't know who uses this in a multiplayer fucking game. I really, really don't know. Turn this off, but it's your own personal preference. I'm not going to spoon feed you, but for me, I turn it off. It's a multiplayer fucking game. Why the hell would you turn this on? All right. Detail quality level. I have this at low. Why would you want your GPU to work even harder and have less frames and make your game run even worse? Turn this to low. All right. Particle resolution, very low. Do not touch this. Just leave it at very low, and that's it. Bullet impacts. Obviously, this does not have a very big impact on FPS when it comes to your GPU or your CPU or the loads in general on your GPU. So turn this on. It won't do anything to your machine. It won't do nothing. Turn it on, right? This one over here, the effects, I would completely turn off. Just turn it off. Leave it the fuck off. Shader quality, low. Leave this at low. Please leave this at low. There is not a lot of difference between low, medium, and high. There's a slight bit of a difference. Yes, you will see a slight bit of difference, obviously. But look there. It has a medium impact on your GPU. You don't want that. Then VRAM low. So it's starting to eat your VRAM. It's starting to use your GPU. You do not want that. And you don't need to see the shader quality of the fucking game, especially in multiplayer. On-demand texture streaming, obviously turn it the fuck off. You don't need to go through this option. It's a very in-depth option, to be honest with you. It's how you download textures on the internet on the fly and stuff like that. I'm not going to go in detail with this. Just turn it the fuck off. Mine's off, so yours should be off. Turn it off right now. Alright, from here, we're going to go to shadow and lighting, which plays a very huge role in the game as well. Alright, shadow quality, low. Screen space, shadows, low. Ambient occlusion, off, off, always off, leave it the fuck off, thank you. Screen space, reflections, off, off, always off, leave it the fuck off. Why would you want to see the fucking reflections in the first place? I would like to know, is there mirrors on this game? That you see someone off of, like, I don't know, you see a car standing there, and you see in the, I don't know, in the blind spot that there's a guy running on the far right. No, turn it the fuck off. Thank you. Alright, this one over here, the quality, the reflection, just in here yet again, turn this to low. Obviously, you can't turn it off, so turn it to low. Alright, this one over here, this plays a very big role in this game, and it really, really does. Tessellation, off, off, always off. Repeat it with me, guys. Off, off, always off, leave it the fuck off. Alright, volumetric quality, low. The physics quality in the game, you do not need to see the fucking physics in this game. You really don't need to. You honestly don't need to. Turn it to low. Weather grid volumes, you do not need to see the fucking weather in this fucking game. Yet again, I don't know why these two options are even in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Yes, I understand maybe if you're running a 4090 or the best of machines, but even the best of machines, this game is unoptimized, so you get shit frames. Okay? Turn it the fuck off. And then water quality. Everyone knows me and this setting over here, and I'm not going to go over it. Turn it the fuck off. You do not need it. Apply these settings. Please go ahead and apply it as is. Apply these settings to your machine. Right, let's jump straight into the view tab. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are in the view tab right now. Now, you can copy my settings as is if you want to go ahead and do so. This is your own personal preference. Like, I have inverted flash on so that if I do get flashbang, my whole room doesn't go white. It goes black. My screen goes black instead of white. It's actually a really nice feature if you want to go ahead to put inverted flash on so you don't get literally like eye blinded as soon as you get flashed. Just turn it on. Your screen will go black. It's actually much nicer. It's softer on the eyes. And just in general, your whole neighbors won't see that you're getting flashbanged. So this is a cool feature. Anyways, this is just your own personal preference. These over here, I can't tell you what to do over here, but you can copy my settings as is if you want to. Now, something that plays a very important role is this over here. Let's go over to the interface. You're going to come to interface over here, and you're going to come inside here, and then go to color customization like this. You're going to go to custom, have you at your own personal color. You're going to have your team and your party at the exact same color, and your enemy to the color of your liking. Now, I have mine at magenta pink. Magenta pink stands out a fuck ton in this game, and nothing is really pink in this game. Trees on pink, grass on pink, buildings on pink. So this is why I use this. And I've seen a lot of people that apply my settings are actually benefiting out of it. And I'm actually so happy to see that people are using the magenta pink color as an enemy. Because, like I said, it's not a common color in this game. So go ahead and just pull it to where your liking is. And then just say apply custom color. Right? These are all normal. You're going to scroll down. You're going to come to filter to both 100% and 100%. Please make sure that these are exactly like this, but yet again, that is your own personal preference, and these two are your own personal preference on the color of your liking. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump over the most important step that you're going to need to take for all of these settings to apply is this right here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so this is the most important step that you're going to need to take after applying all of these settings. You are going to need to click on Restart Shader Preloading, all right? You're going to click on it and say Restart. Now, you're going to restart your game if you're playing it through Battle.net or Steam. It doesn't matter where you're playing this on what platform. Restart your entire game. If you've been watching my video from the start to the end, in fact, just close out of this game completely, then restart your computer. Then come back into the game. Then at the top left corner, it's going to say installing the shaders. Once that has finished installing to 100% and you go play the game and the game runs perfectly smooth, perfectly fine, make sure to come back into my video and leave me feedback. Leave a like if this worked. I would like the feedback to see that this actually helped you. A lot of people watch my videos that don't leave me feedback. They don't leave likes. They just get the information that they need. I mean, I have to literally sit the entire day doing research on what is the best things to put on and off and what to do with this game to make it run perfectly fine for you guys and for me in general, for the community. So please be kind enough, smash that motherfucking like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're new here, and become a member of my channel if you would like to support my YouTube channel. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this helped you, and I hope this helped the community in general that's watching this video, and as always, peace out.